But no matter what comes next, I still have to face the ending.
Go around, fly around town, zap lightning down on the poor mortals below, you know.
Are we all back now?
Yeah, we're live.
Yeah, I'm back.
All right.
So we're going to go steal some ink. That's your big scheme.
Well, there's other things there, but yes, ink is valuable.
It is, so I can't blame you. If we can fence some stuff from this, and it's ink, so it's high-class stuff, so when we fence it, we'll get extra money because we have a high-class fence, right?
That's right.
All right.
Now the big question is, where you get this ink from? Are you just going to outright steal it from someone? You going to figure out where supplies go? What is your group's way of approaching this?
I think theft is definitely in the key here. Trying to be sneaky about it, and yeah, we got to figure out where it is. So how about I give someone a location to case? I'll go ask around, like, where do people make these inks? So I will roll a consort if that's okay.
Yeah, so this is a lot less strange than a lot of stuff you go out and ask about. So you ask different vendors and stuff who sell inks, where they get it.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone just keeps sending you back to the ink rakes.
And I'm just kind of going, man, why are mundane things so complicated? Why can't it be simple, like a statue that no one's ever seen before, knows what it does? At least everyone knows where it is then.
And the ink rigs have a number of places throughout the city that supply these things. No one's really sure where they keep their warehouse or their supplies. You can probably guess it's in the dock somewhere, but that's a big area to search.
Right. Briso, that is the best information I can get you. No one really understands their business a whole lot. In fact, I think they have an overly complicated business model. But if they're in the docks and you want to give a prowl around for them, maybe you can find something.
Well, sure. I mean, so ink is imported then. It's not made locally.
I mean, it's probably just where their local factory is, maybe.
So we just need to break into a warehouse or a boat storage and just pick some up, right?
Right, we got to figure out which one it is, though.
Yeah, so I guess we'll go case the place up and down. Once we find it, we'll get out of here. Professor's got...
we don't know what the place is. That's the problem. We got to find it first, still.
Well, yeah. I mean, we'll just... You know the general area, right?
Mm-hmm. The docks.
Yeah.
The district.
Right. So we'll go to the docks. We'll look around and case the place up and down. And then grab some. I mean, we're not supposed to do that much pre-planning, I thought.
I mean, this is the casing part where we've always done it.
Yeah.
It's kind of free, and it gives us a additional bonus when we engage with the actual mission.
Okay, well, I'm happy to look around. The trick here, though, is that...
Like, if you have enough information that you can do one of the plans, you're able to jump in the plans, but which one do you want to go with?
Oh, I thought we were going to... Well, I think we want to do stealth because we just want to steal it, right?
Okay,
Yes.
To use a stealth plan, you have to tell me where you're entering. So there is some information you have to have.
Okay, that's making more sense.
Like, as long as you can answer the question, then you have enough information to attempt it.
So you just know that somewhere on the docks there is ink. Is that right?
Right, and that's the best anyone has.
I don't know what you expect.
I expect you to pull a miracle, Priso, but that doesn't mean I'm going to get it.
I expect you to die.
Expect you to die. I mean, the only... I mean, I'm drawing a blank here because it seems like a little open-ended of, yes, goods and services appear at the docks. Do we have any narrowing it down, or you just want me to break into every boat until I find ink?
If you think that'll work, go ahead and try that.
Well, the problem with that plan is if I break into every boat, I will find something worth stealing and not care about your stupid ink.
What is the stealth skill again?
Prowl.
Stealth is prowl.
Alright.
Searching for things or tracking things down is hunt.
And Pariso has what? I'm assuming 3 prowl now?
I have a 3 prowl, but I have 0 hunt.
Oh, okay.
So,
I have 1 hunt,
like-
but I only have 2 prowl.
If you give Priso a place to go, he can probably get it no problem at this point.
I mean, once I know where it is, I can break in and take it and get out because I've got finesse and wreck and all this kind of stuff. The problem is that just breaking into boats, randomly looking for it. The next question I would have is there some way we can build an ink detector? I mean, you're the professor. Ink is a chemical residue that contains substances. Is there anything you could build that would actually,
What is, well, this is also, we don't know what the chemical composition of this one is because it's some weird, crimson? Was it crimson ink?
That's what the guy called it.
Yeah, but it's not even red. So we don't
No.
even know
Right,
if
so-
it's made of the same substance
wait,
as normal ink.
it's called crimson. It's called crimson ink,
But it's blue.
but it's
Mhm.
not red.
It's blue.
That's right.
Yep.
That's why I made
Could
the
be the
joke.
company.
Sorry, go ahead.
It could be the company that made it. We could do some research. You and I both have study.
That is true. We could go through some records. So I'm willing to do that with you.
Yeah, why don't we send the professor to read up on what crimson ink actually is?
Professor.
Yeah.
Give us some study, please.
5.
I'm going to give you an additional D6, but you already went, so.
All right, so you do
No.
find in the... Where does the professor go to study up on what crimson ink is?
The patent office.
All right. We'll assume somewhere at the academy there's some kind of patent office. So going through...
Well, there's a whole legal
You-
department, and legal departments
Mhm.
deal with patent law, and patent law has to have a,
I don't think there's patent law. What might make more sense is tariff law. If crimson ink comes in, there's obviously
That would
a
make
tariff
sense.
on it.
All right, so with that, Professor, you do find there has at least been an establishment a decade ago that was registered to create these things. It doesn't tell you what the chemical formula is, but you have a location in the docks now.
I'm still rolling a steel. Ah, damn it, Steel, you've done it again.
Oh no, we're on the hook to pay him now.
So we've at least narrowed it down to
Hmm.
who specifically imports this.
You have a building where the materials are going to.
Well, we're looking
So-
for the finished product, right? Not just the raw ingredients, right?
Yeah, the professor found out a place that was registered 10 years ago to produce this stuff.
Wait, produce it? I thought it was imported.
I'm just passing on what the professor found.
Oh, well, where did you find? Well, hey, if we can just make it, that'd be even better.
I like the
so we're
idea that I
doing-
went to the tariff office and I found where it's being made.
Well,
Well-
the thing is, like Raph pointed out, there might not be tariff office. They're not nearly as organized as we are.
I think you pointed
This
out they
day
might
and
not
age.
have patent offices.
patent it off. Like I'm pointing out, like
Oh.
patent law just struck me as like the last thing anybody cares about.
Well, it
Fair.
depends if you're a businessman who doesn't want to lose his money because it's the only thing keeping you above the riffraff on the streets.
True. Well, we can look up
So-
both. But honestly, if you look, patent on Crimson Ink would be the entire ingredients list and the exact
Hmm.
make and manufacture of it. So it wouldn't be a secret. We would go to the patent office and we see exactly how to make Crimson Ink. So if you want
Like
to
I
keep
said,
some,
I don't think it would be a patent. I think you'd be more on to find where they tariff it.
right.
And the address he has is where the taxes are collected.
So it might be that you looked in the patent office and they didn't patent it. It's like, for example, the Coca-Cola formula is not patented because it's a trade secret. If they patent it, then tell everybody what it is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like KFC's 21 herbs and spices.
Yeah, exactly.
So conceivably, then we could steal this, save a sample. I could reverse engineer how to make Crimson Ink, patent it, and then sue Crimson Ink. for
Well,
infringing on my patent.
if that's the entire curriculum you want to undergo, you have to incorporate and then prove that you're a living person.
No, I don't.
Or we could just sell it off to someone else who can do that more easily.
We're in a fucking world full of demons and shit. I don't have to prove a damn thing.
Demons are illegal. No one consorts with demons, ever.
I'm pretty
Well,
sure you're
the higher-ups consort with demons.
Never. They would never admit to that.
Are you saying that a soulless, cold, unfeeling person could not be the head of a corporation?
No, I'm saying corporations aren't a thing.
But how do
corporations-
businesses work?
Yeah, corporations
Money.
have to be a thing, or this world makes 0 sense. Because I can't build a boat. I'm not rich enough to own a boat by myself. So when you make a boat, you get a bunch of people and pool their money together to buy one of these giant freighters, and then everyone profits from it. That's a corporation.
I guess that's true. The term corporation would exist, but as we know them today, it's not the same legal discrepancies.
They probably wouldn't be considered people, no. But I don't know if
We've been on a map where half of one of these islands is a legal quarter. So I don't, I mean, like right across from the Blue Coats is where law is studied and practiced. So I know that they've got a ton.
Before we get into that huge can of worms of corporation type stuff, what we need to do is they probably don't have it patented because it's a trade secret. So tariff law explains that tariff law would say there's a local person authorized to produce it because since they're local, it would say these people make it. They don't get charged a tariff because they make it locally. The opposite of a tariff.
We'll go with that.
So now that said, how much of this ink does this guy need? Like, what's our commitment to the job?
Enough is basically was his answer. He's not going to get any more from them, so he needs as much as possible, I suppose. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in other words, we're stealing the ink for him, and is he paying us for this?
We're getting his services.
How much did he say would be the minimum for us to employ him for our services?
Yeah, what's the minimum here?
You never established that with them.
So if we show up with 1 vial, he's going to work for.
But I mean, that's why I talked to him before, and I even asked that question. It's like you obviously need more than 1 vial.
And he said yes.
So 2.
And the only agreement he has on this is that specifically the magical
Here's
binding
the
I have,
thing.
and I promise I would get him at least 2 vials of ink.
And
We
for the
don't even
record,
have to do a job. We already got them.
for the record, I
He
did not
wanted a
take the
supplier. He wanted a supplier.
Oh, he wants us. Wait a minute. So we're not just. This isn't just a stealing job. We have to be a connection for this.
It's what you agreed to, and you agreed to give him ink in exchange for doing these rituals. But what he wants is a supplier. Yeah, and he would do a ritual for you. That's the agreement he has with Bishop. I think
You
whoever
take a
breaks
rank
it gets
3
a curse.
damage.
Rank 3 curse. Rank 3 curse on damage. Yes.
So, yeah, we could be real assholes right here. Not do the mission, bring him 2 vials, and say, "All right, you're coming with us."
Well, that's important because if we have a lead on a place that was
But-
made, there might actually be some ink in there.
Right, but
So
yeah,
let's go.
apparently what we need is a supplier to
Well,
keep him going, or at least get him enough that he's happy for like a few years or something.
let's go check out this address that is listed as selling the ink. Is this the
Let's
place he
check
had?
it out.
Yeah, is this the place he had a falling out with? Didn't he say he was banned from a place?
Yes.
He was banned by a faction.
He's banned by a faction. Okay, well,
Yeah.
did he say which one? The Laborers Guild?
Ink rakes. Who would own this building?
In crates?
Ink rakes. It's a faction that produces assortment of inks for the city.
Oh,
Rake.
It says rakes.
Wait, so the
Rakes.
ink.
Yep.
Well, a rake is somebody who spends their money freely and frivolously. So also a little weird. But hey, it's urban fantasy. I'd rock your jive, me hearties. We could just, in theory, we could just go ahead and buy the ink, but
then we'd have to actually have money.
But we wouldn't have money. Oh, well, crap. Let's go find out if they're open and just buy it. Easiest job ever.
Well,
What do you mean,
again,
it's fine?
the place that you just located, I think, was their warehouse, wasn't it?
It was where it was supposed to be produced.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. So let's go to the ink factory. The factory will either be open or closed.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, Pariso, you're investigating. Let's see what you got.
Well, I'm going to take the professor with me. You've got money and know what ink looks like.
Well, I think everybody knows what ink looks like.
Do you want to come?
Well, yeah, no, I'm just being smartass. Have you forgotten my essential nature? That hasn't changed.
Kind of did. You've been gone for a couple days.
The
5.
professor wasn't a jerk because he was dying. He's just a jerk.
I thought it was. Yeah, I thought it was because you were in constant pain. Apparently, this is
Look, man, you can't let death get you down.
He
You gotta-
seems even
you
more
gotta remain
irate.
true to yourself.
well. That's
All right.
Also, you're just assuming that being in here, trapped in this metal machine, isn't also painful.
Is it?
Yes.
Is it as painful as 23 needles constantly jabbed into your skin?
I wouldn't be able to feel that anymore. Well, okay, look. You're not.
And I believe,
Imagine.
I believe you when you say that for unrelated reasons. Okay, look.
Imagine how painful dying has to be. Then imagine how painful death has to be. And I am constantly at that far end.
You guys make your way to the docks and to this address that the professor discovered. You can see there is a storefront right now. There's some guys painting the outside, and they got a new sign up, it looks like. It looks like it's getting a facelift, and
Of course,
you
they
guys
control
are
the
going
ink.
in, or
It's gotta be the easiest thing for them to do.
I wonder if it's new management. Let's go in the store. I wonder if they sell weird crap. I could use a new connection for weird
Push
crap.
open the door. Ding, 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 ding.
yeah, it even has a bell. It's one of the nicer places out by the dock.
The funny part was I would push open the door and then realize no one came out to oh wait, go back outside and then push it out in the way that actually rings the bell. Sorry, poor
Yeah, there's a couple behind the counter there. 2 of them seem to be working. One seems to be the one to deal with customers, and he starts approaching to you. Can I help you two?
Hello, we're looking for paper and ink.
We don't need paper, actually. We just need ink.
All right,
Ink
ink for paper, not a problem. And just starts getting some out, and yeah, just plain ink.
Is
Specialty.
any of this? Yeah, specialty. It's kind of a blue ink, but we think it's made by the Crimson Company.
Oh, okay, I know. No problem, I can get that for you. That stuff is pricey, though.
How much?
And he gives you a number that same as the guy gave. For 5 vials, it's 1 coin, so...
Yeah, we need 5 vials of it.
Yeah, 5 vials sounds good.
Okay. And he heads into the back. Comes out a few minutes later with a fancy little box and 5 vials in it and sets it on the counter. So yeah, that'll be 1 coin.
Yep, I'll mark 2 off my stash.
This
All
is
right,
the
then.
point where in the back of your head, Bishop should be whispering, it's like, ask them how much of it that they make, and how long it takes to make.
And I
don't.
slap the back of my head. Get the fuck out of here. What are you doing in here?
Yeah, I really don't care. I mean, this is eyes on the prize, like the easiest job ever. Hello, I would like to purchase something legally. Here's something you can buy without a license, without any references. Thank you, good man. I will now transact money in return for good, like a law-abiding citizen, which I am.
Look, just put yourself in the RoboCop view, right? Where they have the directives appear on screen. My directive is acquire vials
Yep.
of ink.
Done.
Done.
He made that look so easy. Every time I'm at the Laborers Guild, like I just can't wrap my brain around. Wait, so they just ask you for stuff, you just give it to them?
They give
You know what
money.
I'm thinking here is? The problem might be good customer service.
I think you're right. I'll get this.
Here's the trick. You know how you like to steal things? Good
I don't
customer
know.
service will deny them the ability. If they think you're watching you all the time because you're trying to help them, they won't be able to steal.
They're terrible at watching. I mean, look at all the stuff I just picked up right now.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, so you've acquired this ink.
All right.
I don't want this ink. I want crimson ink.
Well, it's Crimson Ink, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like whatever we thought was Crimson Ink. It's blue, right?
It's blue. It's in a fancy box.
Yeah. I mean, I have no way of telling if this is legit or not.
Well, we weren't given a sample of what the other of actual crimson ink, so we don't only have this to go by.
We only has to fool the other guy.
Yeah, otherwise I'm
All right.
going back for a refund.
Yeah. Well,
Sure.
more than with interest.
Right.
I mean, I'm already making more skull bombs.
Are you going to come back and tell Bishop about what you're doing before you just go and do the mission?
Yeah, we'll just come home. I'll just come home. Like,
Yeah,
we
why
got your
wouldn't
ink. Yeah. This is the easiest job ever.
Oh, was this all that you managed to steal? I didn't think you would go ahead and just do it.
Why
huh?
would we steal anything?
Well,
Yeah, why would we?
because we're already doing this for 0 money, and if you spent more than anything on it, then of course we've already lost money.
Yeah, it's the
which is even
diminishing
worse.
returns. Why would we go do this for no money?
Yeah, also, like, another weird question. Why are you saying we? We're just going to deduct this from your next pay.
Did
What?
Bishop tell them that, if Jenna got enough of it, she'd be able to sell it as well?
Well, I did. They didn't seem to
No.
get the message.
No, you didn't.
Okay.
I will look at you two firmly now and go, I was planning that we would do the job to get more because then we could sell it to Jenna and actually make money off of the whole transaction. At least
Oh,
now
well,
you could rob your money back from the still, I
Well, here's the
suppose.
thing, though. It's easy to be a supplier when all you have to do is go spend 1 coin and buy 5 vials and give it to it.
Yeah.
True,
I
but
mean,
we're
they're
not
legit-
exactly a money positive operation
Well,
right now.
I blame that on our negotiator.
Anyway, look, they're a legitimate business front. And I can't think of any. Yeah, we could go steal some more if we need to, but we're still at Heat 1, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still at Heat 1, and I still haven't forgiven myself for sending Ogre to prison like that.
Rito,
Heat
you're not
2,
turning over
apparently.
a whole new leaf here, are you?
No, I just don't. I commit crime because I'm
That-
good at it, and this kind of crime, like that
No,
place.
Pristo. You commit crime because it gets us money that allows us to continue to live.
Apparently not. Here's your freaking files.
Damn it, Parisa. We need to commit crime.
Yeah. Well, we need more profitable crime. So,
Maybe we
We
need to
could
hit
go
your friend's house up again, that rich one.
I'm working on it. That is a very impregnable safe in the basement that we're gonna have to get into.
Right.
I
but
mean, yeah,
on
but
the
I'm
present
pretty
right
good
now.
at ripping that thing.
Right. Well, that we have to get you inside. Remember, the place had what, tier 2, tier 3 security?
We did it once and we got away like bandits.
Yeah. Well, I'm guessing that if we went back, they've probably upgraded.
They must have had neighbors.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to go shake down some rich people, I'm fine with that. But we got your vials. If you need to go, also, like, you convinced me that casting this spell. I'm going to turn to Edward. So you convinced me that casting this spell will free the place of disease and horror and actually help some of the low class people who I self-identify with. So I'm willing to, to go ahead and do this mission because it might actually help them. I mean, we haven't done the harder part yet. We haven't done step 2 yet, which is get you a victim.
Right, that's going to be part of it later. But again, I can't stress that I was really hoping we could actually make some money off of this step.
Well-
And also,
What?
I don't want to piss off either of our contacts, this new one or our fence,
Why would you?
Jenna.
You guys are so weird. We got him 5 vials of ink. Let's pick a target. Specifically, let's pick a rich person that none of us like and go kidnap them and steal their stuff.
So anybody in White Crown then.
Basically. In fact,
I'm just dying here.
Yeah, you are.
we could
Every second,
we-
every day, every cell in your body is aging and dying.
You're gonna
It-
force
it-
me to like go break into the place to get a lifetime supply.
Yep.
you're in. I mean,
Well-
the problem I have with this entire plan is I don't know how I would find the ink once I got there.
Well, we have some now. We have the packaging here. Let me point it out to you. We have
What?
these names. We have these things. You can find it.
Oh, I'll also point out that White Crown is the only place that doesn't seem to have increased lookouts.
Yeah. Well, let's go find a rich person and steal their stuff. And even better, we could charge a ransom for their safe return and then just sacrifice them anyway.
Yeah, and also I want to point out that I don't remember what this is about. Brightstone has an "it is a
I
woke"
think that's part of why.
clock on it. I don't remember why. What's awakening on Brightstone?
Oh, we don't know.
Well, what started that? Has that clock just been there?
It has. It was questionable before, and then it finished, and now it's awoke.
Is it finished? It looks like it's
Yeah.
not even started yet.
No, the way he's
They're
been doing it
backwards
is
for some reason.
Okay, because again, to me, it looks like we are just failing at Trivial Pursuit because it's nothing there.
Well, let's go get we need to go get a victim now. I say we get a rich person, hold up for a ransom.
Yeah, we'll go up to White Crown. We'll pull up to one of their docks. We'll ambush one of their boat drivers so that when a noble gets on that boat, we just sail off with them.
That's pretty good.
I mean, the gondoliers already hate us anyway, so what's fucking to affect us if we take out one of them?
Does your weird vehicle jump and levitate?
No.
That's later.
No, it's probably
Okay.
never. It's probably going to be never.
Oh, well, never mind.
I'm investing in the personal person because the moment that I pointed out that, hey, I'm a person and a vehicle, you guys were like, the vehicle can't go anywhere. It stands out. It's like, oh, okay.
Oh no, because I was thinking that I mean it does stand out, but it means we use it for specific jobs. The idea
Well,
we could park it somewhere.
Here's the problem, Raph, is that mechanically, I have a limited number of upgrades to toss around between things, so it behooves me more to toss the 4 onto 1 and make the 1 awesome.
I understand. So what is your vehicle right now? What advantage does it have?
It's armored.
Okay, so if we have to assault someplace, it's basically a personnel carrier that would allow us to break into someplace. Okay,
That
that's
I can
good.
also personally control, so it's not like we have a low-tier crew guy operating it. It would literally
Right.
be me.
So right now its advantage is that it's armored. It's not got superior mobility. All right, well that's cool.
Well, also the fact that since it has tentacles for arms, since it has tentacles for wheels or whatever, all the skills that I'm able to do, it can do.
So let's go pick a rich person who doesn't have a lot of security or a vulnerability. I think I think Professor's plan is pretty good. Get a rich person who is going on a jaunt in either a carriage or a boat. Kidnap them. Take them to the kidnapping site and simultaneously we could sacrifice them while someone breaks into their house and takes all their stuff, because presumably they would have keys on them or other locations. Or we could hold them for ransom and then just sacrifice them instead. How asshole, like that second one strikes me as a great way to get a lot of heat.
Well, also make sure that any other future ransom plans you may come up with will never work. We know these guys; they never get them back.
I say we just kidnap them. So Edward, the purpose of this entire plan was to grow your personal influence. Pick one of your enemies and
Right, but right now I'm still stuck on the first part where I'm contractually obligated to become cursed if I don't do this properly. And
You
I'm trying
already
to figure
did
out
it.
how I'm going to break in alone now.
Well, you guys
here's
him
5 miles. Give him 5. What do you
5 is oftentimes more than 2. You're fine.
Yeah, we've got. I don't understand why you're so broken up with this. Here's 5 vials.
Because I could die, that's why. And
You're not.
also, I'll have multiple people angry at me.
Why would he kill you if you give him 5 vials of ink?
Because I did that to myself.
I don't understand.
No, you fulfilled your side. Also, who gives a fuck if this guy's angry about you? He has no power. He's literally been kicked out of an area by a faction.
But I care if Jenna is mad if we went over to one of her friends and double-cross them by giving them barely the minimum that they want.
What is the minimum that they want? Give me a number.
I was thinking we could get a couple of crates from there. And in the process, also get more, which gets us some money on the side.
The number on the contract.
See, the problem is that he's not angry about the amount on the contract, apparently. He didn't negotiate.
I'm angry about not making money.
No, he's angry about upsetting his friends.
Contacts.
Just to clarify for the contract, he will do 1 ritual for 1 vial. That will satisfy the mystical bond of the contract.
Rod, we got 5 vials here.
5 times as many as he wanted.
Okay, let's stop and we have 5 vials here.
Mm-hmm.
We probably only need 3 more rituals. That means we've got 2 vials that we could sacrifice to figure out what this is actually made of. The professor here is a very smart guy. Maybe if we sit down and put some of this stuff in the lab, we can figure out what the ink is and either duplicate it or forge it.
Right. A legitimate business angle, I suppose.
We're smart and we have access, to alchemical stuff. And why don't we see about forging it? Professor, how is your tinker these days?
I just love the fact that our business angle here, or our negotiator here, one is constantly negotiating deals where we don't make any money, and 2 has to worry about upsetting his contacts that don't make us any money.
Just like to get out of character here for a second. I'm only doing this because I assumed that we could go do a job and make money off of it, which was to satisfy you guys in the first place. And then you guys are saying you don't want to make money, and I'm just completely...
We're looking for a score. The deal that you made literally makes us no money.
Well, I mean, it does, because this is valuable stuff, and there are other valuables there. You even put money into it already that you could extract back.
This kind of deal...
But this is more a job for the fence to steal a bunch of ink, and then someone else happens to get some ink.
I want to make my position clear on this. We have successfully accomplished the job without rolling any dice and rolling a whole bunch of 3s, 2s, and 1s and failing. So we have satisfied the material components of the job with a minimum of risk to you. Because you are the one who, if we fail to get any ink whatsoever, would be the person who's on the hook. We have the ink.
Right.
You're safe, and the mission is accomplished, and none of us got hurt or caught. So, while I would be also happy if this mission made more money, I wasn't convinced that we would get a lot of money. So that's why, and also we still have to kidnap your freaking human sacrifice. So...
Right. I was just under the impression that we all wanted to get more, and I was trying to angle for that from the beginning.
And I was asked to use skills I don't have. I don't have hunt. I have 0 dice in that.
I mean, I have a little hunt, but at the same time, I didn't foresee this making any money.
Right. The problem is that we would break into this place, roll our whopping 1 hunt die, and if we didn't find it, we would have wasted time, possibly got caught, and then you'd get killed because we'd have nothing.
And historically, looking back, robbing from rich people is where we made all of our money.
Mm-hmm.
Really, I always recommend robbing rich people. It's pretty much why I got in this business, because robbing poor people, not a big deal. But also, I am willing to do the scam. I think we should try and find out what this ink is made of, because... This is point of order. If we can forge crimson ink, we don't have to just sell it to that guy. There's a market for this. We could sell crimson. We could make crimson ink and sell it to this guy to get your rituals done, and then forge the crimson ink, and then slowly dilute it and lower the price until we bottom out the market and the scam is over. So why don't we try to figure out how to forge this stuff? Because Professor, you can do this, right?
Right.
Yeah, I'm down with that. And I can actually help with that because I actually have study.
And hopefully at the end of this, we can kind of finish off all of our downtimes too. That'll be good.
Yeah. So I mean, I know it's kind of anticlimactic, but I was just thinking, like, this is, we don't actually have to commit a crime to do this.
Like, all of this in my mind was the prep to get to the arcane score, which was getting all the pieces you needed.
Yeah, because we need to get this. We need to get that guy delivered to the place where we're going to do the ritual on the date that we're going to do the ritual, so he can't get caught and observed doing it. And he's also a security risk because apparently he is such a goofball that he pissed off an ink dealer to the point that the ink dealer wouldn't sell him more ink. There's a whole story behind that.
Yep.
All right.
Us two, right, and us two weirdos just walked right in there, said, "We'd like Crimson Ink. Here you go." They sold it to us over the counter. We didn't have to do anything.
There's no license for this. So powerful.
This guy apparently got kicked out of there, so that guy's got a problem. We sent Ogre to prison over less.
Well, Ogre murdered a person.
That's probably bad in our book.
We don't know what got this guy kicked out. Yeah, but Ogre isn't specifically kicked out of any district.
Fair.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I murdered you.
Speaking of, we do need to kidnap more people to murder, like you said.
Right. So go
that
find
would be
yourself.
prep, I guess.
Go find your. Yeah, we gotta go find a victim. Which I assume to go ahead. Yeah, we need to go find a victim. I liked the original plan of watching one of them get drunk because they're rich people. They have vices. They have to be doing stupid stuff. I mean, some of them probably go to. Well, we probably don't want to. We probably don't want to pick somebody who goes to the not reconstructed. What's the name of these guys?
The reconciled.
Yeah. We probably don't want to pick someone the reconciled. Like, I mean, that's also part of it. It's not only finding someone who's a likely candidate, but also we don't want a Forgotten Gods worshiper or a reconciled or anyone who we're a friend with.
Right. If you want, I know of an archivist we could try to go ahead and grab, but maybe that's too much. We should keep our eyes narrow right now. Was that?
Is that Alistair? You want us to go grab Alistair?
No, it would be a man called Jaren. He's an archivist, and he's keeping tabs on us.
Oh, yeah. Where does he live?
I guess that's part of the score.
Since he's a rival, you would know.
Yes, I happen to know he lives over in, I actually don't know which district he might live.
I mean, I'll go ahead and take notes. If this is one of our enemies who got the heat on us so much that Ogre had to go to prison, I am all about the revenge.
Right, so the idea would be then to kidnap him and a couple of other people in the process and then use them for these rituals.
Okay, well, I don't think we want to have people held up. Do you really want to get a prison and hold people in it until we have to commit all these rituals?
Ostensibly, we'd be doing it as soon as possible.
Well, because remember, we have to get this guy to commit to it. He has to come by and show up. And remember, he's a security risk. He could be spotted.
Right. Then do we want to set our sights even lower and keep it very simple then?
Plus, man, how many more of these rituals were we thinking of doing? I thought you said 4 to. Yeah, we can only do 3.
We have 5 vials. We're going to use 3 of them for rituals, and then you're keeping 2 of them. So we have 3 rituals we're going to do right now, and if you happen to make more ink, maybe we can do more.
What you do is you bring him in for conjugal visits, and then he sacrifices somebody during the conjugal visit.
Conjugal visit?
Yeah. Where he has sex with somebody. That's what conjugal visit is.
Well, that's... Conjugal is when you visit someone in prison. It's implied you're having sex while you're doing it.
Yeah.
How words warp.
But So you want me to seduce the guy? I'm not very good at that.
No?
No. I mean, you're better at it.
All right.
I'm cold on the inside. Only about 10%
No.
of the population's into that.
But you can bend your right. See, even better. Plus, also you can bend your legs behind your head.
Yeah, but then I have to fix them afterwards.
That's true for most people.
And a lot of
So
people
yeah.
lack the ability to fix them.
Now I can't say I'm not good at seducing. You're not good at seducing. You know who is good at seducing?
No.
Slowly turn to look at Edward.
And then continue a 360 motion, and we say no.
I don't think the man keeping tabs on me is going to be seduced, but
Have you ever heard of hate fucking?
well, let's see. So
I
guess
mean,
right now I'm trying to figure out like how the scores are going to go down on this.
honestly, we could seduce him if you can find out what he's into, and not just in a carnal way. If he's into drugs or some other illicit substance, we could, find out what that is. We can entice him outside of his comfort
God,
zone.
I hope he's
because-
into clowns.
Okay, so how about I
Looking
go ahead
at the
and do
score.
that?
Looking at the
Yeah.
scores, it looks like you need some kind of score to get your victims, and you're going to have to do occult scores for this ritual.
Mhm.
So the only part we're still trying to decide is what method are you doing to get these bodies or people or
Right.
person.
And I think right now, I guess I'm going to go ahead and look at what could Jaren, the Blue Coat Archivist, decide to do in his free time to indulge his vice.
And here's something else I need to know. How much heat does this generate every time we kill someone and do a sacrifice? My understanding it generates at least 2.
Well, I mean,
Right.
also the
Oh, the
spirit
red
wards
wolf?
would be there like 5 minutes, right?
In the middle of the city, there's going to be people showing up very quickly.
Right.
Like you guys were in the middle of nowhere when you did it last time.
Okay, right.
But
So
the
in other
bell
words-
didn't toll.
so we-
Correct.
But we did a weird arcane thing which drew people in.
Right. We can't do all 3 of these rapid fire because we have to spend some time bleeding heat in between them.
Well, there is the one in Coleridge, so we can go ahead and pull off the one then, and then work on the other 2 later.
All right, I say we go ahead and do that and see what happens. So let's just plan on doing 1. I don't want to have people. We're smugglers. We're supposed to be trafficking. We're supposed to be selling like porn and illegal objects. We're not supposed to be trafficking in people.
Right.
Getting
that is still-
contraband and
that is still
getting-
smuggling.
selling it.
All right, let's do it.
All
Right,
right.
so
So
we
let's
have-
do it. I mean, go ahead.
We have occult as the second part of the score. What's the first part for getting this body?
I believe we're going to go ahead and try to go for stealth, where we want to very quietly acquire this person while they are doing their vice.
All right. So we're going to say Jaren. He's very on the board. So what would his vice be?
Well, it could be a boring vice like my theater as well.
I was thinking that luxury. So he probably has a favorite restaurant he goes to.
That would be hilarious. Yeah, just part of his job, like pull out the binoculars during it and look over at my box. Restaurant sounds good though.
So it's a fancy restaurant in Brightstone. Is his favorite place to eat. With that in mind, do you have a plan?
Yeah, perfect. You've got what's that? Do you have a poison that paralyzes people, Professor?
I have
Oh,
a
you
one
don't
that puts
have-
people to sleep.
Well, we probably looted your bandolier, but we probably didn't know what to do with it.
Right.
Okay, all right. So you've lost all of your leech abilities.
By the way, I think this sheet is repeated a bunch of equipment.
Yeah, I just noticed that. I was just looking at what kind of equipment you have. It looks like you got the list twice.
It's like, how many
Oops.
lanterns do I have?
Hundreds.
Okay. So we have a restaurant. It's fancy. I do have slumber powder,
Wait.
which will work.
I have been. Oh, you have this stuff?
Yes.
All right, perfect. Yes. Steal his stuff. Well,
Blackmail would assume that we're going to keep him alive.
Okay, what I was going to suggest is that when we kidnap him, while we're spiriting him away to... we have a narrow window of time before someone figure this out. While he's gone, we could frisk his body for any keys or identifying place and shake down his house while we have him kidnapped in the narrow window while we still have it. Because we know he's not home.
So then I guess since we know where he goes to relax, we can go ahead and wait until he's done there, and while he is on his way out back to his home, do the kidnapping.
Well, when he travels, you've gathered some intel. When he travels, does he travel alone or with an entourage?
That would be a good question.
If he's rich, he might have an entourage.
Should I go ahead and make a roll to see if I know that?
You would know that when he's out with his luxury, it's off duty. He rarely has an entourage. He may have a guest with him, but he's not likely to be surrounded by blue coats or anything.
Well, or minors. He's rich. He might just have bodyguards.
Mm-hmm. The fortune roll will determine how protected he is tonight.
Okay, because one problem is we're down grit. Okay, which means that as much as it's fun to smash and grab, grit is our...
He's our smasher and grabber.
Right. I mean, if he was surrounded by minders or whatever, I would trust grit to subdue all of them. And, be able to grab him. Because now I can be violent if I need to be, but I'm not necessarily as good at it. I mean, I'm good at it, but I'm not as good as grit. Mm-hmm. Plus, also, I was suggesting that we might want to shake down his house at the same night. Well, actually, Professor, you're actually pretty good at infiltrating, aren't you?
2 dice and prowl.
2 dice and prowl.
So I don't know how that translates to like a look at me move.
Well, you can sneak because you've got prowl. And what's your tinker and your wreck?
Same as I used to be.
So 2s?
2 and 1.
Okay. So you can be a second story person if you need to be. So it could be that we could wait until he leaves his house. You could break into his house to shake it down, and Edward and I could go to the restaurant. Edward could poison his food, or Edward, we could wait until he's at the restaurant and either comes in or comes out, or most importantly, uses the privy, which is the number one way to get people like this. Mm-hmm. And we could ambush him there, poison him, abduct him, and take him off to the place to have the ritual done. That would make us some money because we would shake him down and disappear him at the same time, and get the ritual done. How does that sound?
It sounds pretty reasonable to me.
There's
It doesn't feel like we're escalating the number of things we're trying to do at once, but still.
Well, if we're gonna rob him, if we're gonna rob him, we can't rob him after he disappears. The police will show up at his house.
Right. So I have to do it immediately.
And we would know that he's not home when we go to do this. We'd have to do this. Also, in order to make the timing on this work, we have to get your guy in position at the ritual place. Mm-hmm. Because he has to be there when we go bring the guy there, because I don't want to sit on a rich guy.
Right. So
you'll pay extra for that.
So part of this is going to be, of course, we do our delivery, we inform the person we give the inks to, and we have them set up where we need to. So.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And unfortunately, so there's either that kind of coordination. Well, either we would have to abduct the guy and sit on him and then do the ritual, or we would have to have such timing that we get your guy in position the same night this guy goes out to the restaurant, which there is a way to figure out. does he go to the restaurant on a regular basis, or is it intermittent? That's the first question.
It is his vice, so I assume he does it as frequently as possible.
Like, does he do it every Friday night?
He does it about twice a week when he can get reservations.
That's the second question I had. What we do is we find the reservation book. And when he makes a reservation, that's the night we call your guy and tell him we've got his ink, but we need him to be at a certain place. He might not agree to doing that, but hey.
Okay.
So, and the easiest way to watch the reservation book is to have a plant in the restaurant. So, let's go look at my wheels, shall we? I am this close to being a waiter. To speed this up, we could spend one of the company's rep points because we can use downtime as flashbacks, and we could have me go and call
Already
in all
working.
finally get admitted to the servants union so I can be a waiter.
I mean, you're literally at the point where you can't fail, so yeah.
How does that sound?
Sounds perfect. I am for you spending the rep for that.
All right, let's go ahead and spend the rep point. And I would like to, as a flashback, do another downtime to try and win the labor union. Please, guys, you have to let me. I'm dying to wear the apron.
I'm not going to make you roll because, even if you roll a 1, you fill that last box.
Well, I know, but I'm going to roll anyway because it matters to me.
This is where you get the critical success. No, still just 1 check.
Still terrible. But finally, I'm a waiter.
You know what? They're desperate for people at this restaurant, apparently, and they're just like, fine, here's your card, here's your papers. You better be here tonight.
The second trick would be that once I'm a card carrying member of the servants union and can get employment as a waiter, if they don't have a vacancy at the restaurant, I'll make a vacancy at the restaurant.
Fair. So this method sounds like deception rather than stealth. Priest was going in as a waiter.
Definitely sounds like deception. The deception is, I'm going to watch the I'm going to get a job there and regularly sneak a peek at the reservations list until I eventually see that he's made a reservation, and that's when I go call everybody and tell them it's on for tonight.
All right, so
And
let's
I will
see.
give you a vial of slumber essence to do with as you will.
So let me see if I understand.
You're going to have me hiding in the bathroom. I can't just disappear. I got to work my shift.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm in the bathroom doing that then. I belong here. I look rich. I look noble, and I'm indulging.
Well, we have to, right? So in other words, we wait, and also the professor has to come along too, because that's when the professor's going to shake down the house using your human robot powers. What robot powers do you have besides looking like a human?
Flight and armor.
Right, so you are literally the world's greatest second-story person.
Yeah, armored, flight, and I lifelike.
All right, so why don't you do that?
Lifelike, a quality most people have by default.
Did you take the push for superhuman power?
No.
Okay.
I lack the good skills to do it with, so it seemed like a waste.
Well, one reason to get it would be that if you hit a security system that locked you in there, instead of trying to pick your way out, you could just smash it.
Instead, now I'll float up on the ceiling until somebody walks in to investigate, doesn't see anything, and then I'm the spider on the ceiling of any fantasy encounter.
Right. No, it sounds good to me.
Okay.
So that's what we do. Finally, down with this plan as I get to live out my dream on the week.
So, to my understanding, you're contacting the guy to meet you somewhere. The 3 of you are going out. Pariso and Bishop are going to kidnap this person, meet up with the professor, give the professor whatever keys, wherever this guy has to his apartment. Then at least Edward's going to take this guy to the ritual. The professor is going to break into this guy's home, and Priest is going to finish his shift.
Yeah, so I don't look suspicious.
Or
Just
lose
making
a job
sure
that
I
you spent months getting.
Right. And to be honest, like, you don't. It's not necessarily that you have to meet us. You just have to check the drop because we'll just after we get him out the bathroom window.
I can't wait for this new entanglement. By the way, you got a job coming up, right? We gotta heist this thing. Oh, but you got a 9 to 5 that morning.
No,
right.
it's scheduled for then.
So let's do.
To be honest, I will help you if there's any hitches. I will ditch my job to go ahead and help you get the guy in. We'll just see how it goes.
You spent rep, you've spent money to get in this position. Weeks
So let's
of
see.
effort.
Yeah,
Let's see how this is starting out.
it was my dream to do it. It's not my career.
No, it's literally your
5.
career.
It's more of a secondary. Look, I don't have to explain myself to you. I'm weird.
Not
Now-
really.
This could be a long, complicated score. We've started at a risky position, so there's slight complications, and we have less than 30 minutes left for the show. Do we want to do the whole score at the beginning of the next show, or cram in what we can?
I would so much rather pick this up when Grit is here.
Sure.
That's also fair.
Because this mission screams that we need Grit for this.
All right. Well,
Is everyone
I guess
okay with
that's
that?
the case. Yeah, we're all set up for next time. Let's go ahead and do some end of game.
All right. So we have XP to do. We have the professor. So, fulfilled your functions despite difficulty or danger.
Yeah. One of my functions is to acquire, and I acquired exactly what I was told to get.
Yeah, these are
That's right. You suppress or ignore your former human beliefs, drives, heritages, or background.
I did not work on a hull all game.
You struggled with issues of your wear this session. I don't think that one came up.
Where? I don't have any. Well, yeah, I don't have anywhere.
Yeah. Edward.
Hey.
Addressed a challenge with calculation or conspiracy.
I think so. Our first mission went perfectly.
It kind of did. Express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
Not only is noblesse oblige, I must help those lesser than me. I'm getting back at my enemies, and the entire time I have been, I've completely forgot what my words are going to be. Sorry,
Sounds good.
but yeah.
Struggle with issues of your vice or trauma.
Well, I keep putting myself into terrible positions, and I'm worried about how it's going to come out with the handshakes.
You also did leak out some of the information what the crew was up to.
Oh, yes, that's right. I actually did do that this session. I almost forgot about that. Bragging about it.
So, address the challenge with stealth or evasion.
I gotta be honest here. We did just go in and buy the thing because we needed it, and the other things didn't actually have a lot of stealth or evasion going on, unless you count just going to pick something up and not get detected. You count the smuggling operation for the ball, right? So I would have to argue I did not address a challenge with stealth or evasion.
Fair.
I did deliberately go out of my way to not do that. Express my beliefs. I don't.
Did he?
That's not stealth or evasion. That's deception. No, that's deception. That's deception.
That's
But,
definitely
moving on.
more the spider. But yeah, express beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
Definitely, because not only am I talking about Tityrus, but I had to go visit Ogre because I don't believe we should we're comrades in arms. I felt bad about doing that, but it was the right decision.
If nothing else, it's very much going to change his opinion when he gets out compared to what it was going to be.
Well, I should go visit him. So
yeah, you struggle with issues of vice or trauma.
now, see, I would argue that I've actually done this twice because not only have I committed to this bit of becoming an actual normal person, and despite all reason, that I finally committed to this, burning everything I could and all these resources to do it. But also, speaking of other weird things, a human sacrifice went off earlier. I said, okay, I got to be an accessory to this. It's a human sacrifice. I've never done this before.
All right.
So,
it's not really a trauma, but with your vice, I would say that definitely qualifies.
yeah, no, I did some things this session that only somebody who is abnormal would do. So,
Steal. Address a challenge with tracking or violence.
I completely forgot that was steel for a second. Oh yeah, no, I tracked somebody, didn't I?
Yeah, and use your dog for violence.
That too.
All right, put a tick somewhere. Express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
Yeah, I'm a mercenary. I sold myself.
That certainly came up. Struggled with issues from your advice or trauma during this session.
I don't have a trauma, and Grit wasn't here.
Yeah, fair. All right. Now we can bring up the crew sheet.
Yeah.
Executed a successful smuggling or acquired new clients or contraband sources.
We successfully smuggled our dead friend across the city. To multiple places, even.
Fair, I'll tick that up. Contend with challenges above your current station.
I don't think we actually got around to doing that, did we? We only did like the 2 missions previously.
Yeah, no one you had struggles with had any kind of a station above you.
Mm-hmm.
Bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one. Your reputation is strange.
We just did the strangest thing we possibly could. We had a whole light show.
Tick that up. Express the goals, drive, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew. The last hour were you guys debating over buying ink and if this was the right call or not. So I'm going to give it to you.
Whether or not it's the business we want to get into.
I mean, the whole time I was just thinking, if I fail it, you're all leaning on me, and if I fail this roll, which I have no dice in, you're the one who gets killed.
Yup.
No. I'm talking to Edward. What do you care if Edward gets killed? He's not you.
I'm almost honored that Priso doesn't want to kill me.
And my mission is always eyes on the prize. I mean, the problem is I just looked at this and said, we could just solve this problem right now. And plus also, it was just like, I don't know where they would keep the ink. And when they came out with it and just said, oh yeah, we'll just sell it to you. It's not weird or anything. Really? Okay. Also, I lost
like the
mission when it was no longer weird.
I also enjoyed the fact that Priso was the first one to mention that this guy get kicked out of this store.
Yeah, I mean, we just... he got...
I do blame a little bit of my personality of I have to have all the gears. I can't just have a few in a functioning machine. It has to have every gear.
We're 2 randos just walking down the street saying, we'd like to buy your most expensive ink. Oh, here it is.
We'll sell you have money?
Yeah. Market price.
I'm actually honestly surprised we had money.
It was just kind of like, this isn't difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't been spending money on anything because he reached the point where he was beyond where everything was refined. He just had to come up with a reason to die. That's the hilarious part of this whole thing. You couldn't just die. You needed a reason so you would actually be anchored to this world.
Mm-hmm. Almost unrailed his whole plan.
What was your reason again?
Which reason?
It wasn't a reason. It had to be an object of significance to the
professor. What did you eventually settle on?
His bandolier.
Okay.
His bandolier is part of the machine.
Yeah, you said you didn't remember, but then you asked us why we... I love it. You say you didn't remember, and then earlier you asked us why didn't sell your bandolier.
Man, now that you've changed careers, maybe I just need to become a vampire.
I looked into it. You don't want to become a vampire because I'm probably going to take an upgrade that allows me to kill them much easier.
That would almost be perfectly fitting, really.
There's a talent you can get that lets you use your wreck talent to make entire areas anathema to spirits.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking
wreck
of
is something I
spirits
have.
and being anathema to them, I've gone ahead and picked a veteran talent. I'm choosing Ghost Voice. I can speak to ghosts as if they were normal humans, regardless of how wild or feral they happen to seem, and I gain potency when communicating with the supernatural.
What does that
Is that
mean?
from?
I think it means I have a greater effect.
It's much like the tiers. He's just at a higher tier for it. They use the same word for the same mechanic all over the book.
I'm a
Potency,
talker,
tier,
and
and
we're
time.
weird.
What book
It
is that
seems
from?
great.
Is that from the Whisperer?
It's from the... Who is this guy? From the Slide.
The Slide.
Yeah, I know. I completely forgot this playbook like even existed until I started like rolling around for him. hmm it might be. It could be cross class. There's Ghost Mind and Strange Methods, but it does not have Ghost Voice. Oh, Ghost Mind would be a good one in the future. Plus one dice to gather information about the supernatural by any means.
Nice.
Wonder how often that comes up.
All right, guys. So
Yeah.
I think that's been our session today. Next time we'll pick up with this complicated score and see if you can save Coleridge before the plague spreads again.
Coleridge, I'm down with saving.
Woo! Yeah, let's say for friends and allies. And the rest is take and burn, whatever. We'll just section off 30% of the city. It's fine.
Sure. Oh no! All the rich people died. Oh no!
Yeah.
Well,
Plenty of that.
here.
Alright. Alright, fourth mission of the day. Also infect another district. So we can save it later. Oh, yeah, that's right. But yeah, everything went pretty great today.
All right. Should we do the outro then?
Let's do some outro.
All right. Well, thank you for everyone for putting up with our slow end conversation here at the end. I'm Matthew. I've been the storyteller for this game. You can find me at startplaying.games.com. And Theta, why don't you go next?
Hey there, and I'm Griff. I also run the stream. Come and see us Sundays and Wednesdays for a wide variety of fun and interesting games, including Star Wars, Blade of the Dark, Ironclaw, Urban Jungle, Dungeons and Dragons, and whatever the other one was that I've already forgotten if we had a slot for it then. I can't remember if we had a sixth one. Help me. But I'll go through all of them if I have to. Yeah, come and join us. Go watch every video we have on YouTube. Thousands of hours seeing us play, especially me and Theta, because we're always here. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Use your Amazon Prime. Leave a comment. Give us a donation. Buy a plushie. And toss it over to Rafferty.
Yeah. So yeah, I work for sanguinegames.com where we just had our Abyss Kickstarter. So thank you for that. Action horror role playing. And we also make stuff like Ironclaw and Urban Jungle. So I'm pretty soaked. Pretty stoked about that. I'm stoked for other things. Yeah. not on camera. So thanks everybody for your support. And we're looking forward. We'll have some more exciting stuff. We got a lot of stuff to work on. So we're going to work on that and then have more exciting stuff later.
Wonderful. All right, then. Well, thanks everyone for being here, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.